Okay, guys, I want to address the issue about child support. Now, this video, it's actually particularly to the guys who are obviously struggling to pay child support. They actually have a huge issue with it. I hear them complaining about it all the time, especially on Facebook, how it's unfair, how the system favors the women. And it really disturbs me that any man would actually say the system favors the woman. It should favor the woman because the woman pretty much does the most. Why do you think it's set up like that? And, first off, I'm gonna start off by explaining what child support is, because you guys obviously don't know what it is. Child support is your obligation to support your child because you're obviously not with the child's mother anymore. Obviously, it's not fair that the mother supports the child alone. Obviously, you are responsible for that child. So therefore, that's why child support, comes into play. Now, a lot of you guys think that child support just has like one level to it. No, there's levels to child support. And see, a lot of you guys get it twisted. You forget about the other levels. Now, most of you think child support is just financial. It's not. There's almost about 5 different levels to child support. You got physical, you got financial, you got emotionally, you got mental, and you got spiritual. Okay? So those are all the key factors of child support. And you, as the absent parent who is only required to pay child support on the financial level, you only have one. That's pretty much, the court. You're saying that the courts isn't fair, but see, the courts is only obligating you to one level of child support, just one, and you're complaining about it. What if the court said that not only are you going to pay your financial obligation to child support, but we're going to penalize you if you don't put in your physical, your mental, your spiritual, and your emotional? Then what would you do? See, you guys got it easy. It's easy to pay child support. That is the most easiest thing that you can do. It's just pay child support. On top of that, you're not even touching financially what is really required to take care of your child. I don't want to get off topic here, because like I said, this situation is very personal to me, because I went through this, still going through it. Guys are always complaining about paying child support. They're always complaining about how the mom doesn't deserve this much. See, that's where you're wrong. See, that's where you don't get it. Child support is not for the baby's mom. Child support is for your child, whom live up under the roof of your baby's mom. So how else is your child going to receive your child support if it's not controlled or managed by an adult? Now, mind you, you don't live with her, remember? You don't live with her. So what is the other way that your child can take the money that you give him or her and take care of himself? I'll wait. How does that happen? On top of that, you guys have plenty of options. If you don't trust that your baby's mom is doing what she's supposed to do with child support, send it through the child support agency. Don't send it through the child support agency. Take it and purchase what the child needs. But a lot of you guys are not going to do that because, see, it gets more detailed. It gets more in depth to what you think your obligation is. If I were to say, okay, you are obligated to pay $50 or $150 a week for child support. Okay? That's one child. Mind you, we're not stop focusing on what the system told you to pay. See, this is what disgusts me with deadbeat dads. You guys are so set on accepting what the system, the government told you your obligation was. You getting it twisted. The government is only basically telling you this is all we are going to require you to pay, even though we know it takes more than this. But this is what we're going to hold you to paying, because under the present circumstances, you're telling us that you can't afford to pay anymore. See, y'all forget that too. You forget that you're not providing the government with your finances. You're not being forthcoming of what you're making, number one. So you're still getting over on your children. You're not getting over on the mother. You're getting over on the children. You're bargaining with your children. You're telling your kids that they're not worth knowing what you make. They're not even worth reaping the benefits of what you really make. So because you refuse to actually put all your finances on the table and lay it all out on the line and tell the judge, Your Honor, this is how much I make every month, so that the judge can fairly calculate how much he feels the mother should get as a part of your portion. He's telling you, I'm just going to obligate you to pay this much. He's just trying to be fair, because you're telling him you can't afford it. You're unemployed. You don't have a job right now. So he's just still trying to hold you to some type of responsibility and obligation, which that's what he's supposed to do. You're not going to get off scot-free. Some of you guys think that you don't have to do anything for your kids because you're not working. And that's not, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, baby. And I know you guys, want it to go that way, but it doesn't go that way, because that's not fair to the mom, because you're not the only one having hard times. She has hard times as well. So why is it okay for you to take a break in your financial obligation to your children whenever things are not going your way financially, but she can't do the same thing? She has to keep taking care of your child no matter what. Whether she loses her job or not, she still has to find a way to provide to your children. Another thing is this. Why are you even bargaining with your kids? Basically, when you do that, when you bargain with your kids, you're basically saying that's how much your kids are worth. Your kids are not worth more than $50 a week. Why are you so comfortable and set on paying just $50? If someone tells you you're only obligated to pay $50, why not pay more than that? Why? Because you guys are so stupid. You're not mature enough to understand that whatever you do for your baby's mom is not for your baby's mom. It's for your child, because she has your child 98% of the time. You're not even with your child. That child is with that mother. You're nowhere to be found. You're not there when that mother has to get up in the middle of the night and care for that child when that child is running 102, 104 fever. You're not even there. You're laid up with some other woman with her children in the other room. Not only that, you guys are not even calling your kids. And that's why I say a lot of you don't get it. And that's why I honestly don't like doing videos like this, because you're not even on a level to even comprehend or understand what I'm saying. Child support is more than just finances. How many of you are calling your children, making an effort, and actually calling your kids every day? Just because you're not living with your child does not exclude you from contacting your child. You could be calling, you're supposed to talk to your kids every single day. But I guarantee you, the ones that are complaining about child support, they're not even that involved in their kids' life. You're so focused on the child support that you're missing the point. You're missing the point of it. But anyways, you know what? I wrote down some notes for you guys, because I will go off subject. So let me go back and let me just stick to what I wrote down. Okay. I mean, stop trying to prove that your baby's mom is not worth receiving the amount of child support that the courts obligated you to pay. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, because you're making yourself look stupid. And you're making you know what you're doing? You are basically laying out your character. You're telling people exactly what type of person you are to even do some dumb junk like that. That's stupid. And it doesn't make you look good. While you're trying to prove to the courts that she doesn't deserve it. What do you mean she doesn't deserve it? Again, it's not for her. It's for your child. So basically, you're telling the judge that your child doesn't deserve the financial obligations that he has required you to pay. So instead of you doing that, how about go to court and prove to the judge that you are willing, able, and capable of supporting your child 50-50 with the baby's mom? How about that? How about go prove to the court that you are man enough to take on the full responsibilities of raising your children? Meaning, you're telling the judge, Your Honor, whatever my child needs, whatever receipt, invoice, whatever she tells me my child needs, I'm going to pay half of it. Because that's really what you're supposed to be doing. You went half on it when you made it. Why you can't go half on it with the financials, the mental, the emotion, the physical, and the spiritual? Half of child support and you stepping all the way up to the plate. When I say, because I've said this several times, I say, why won't you step it up? And not just halfway. I mean, step it all the way up. Meaning, you're not concerned about whether or not your baby's mother has the time to do certain things. Like, say, some of y'all do this. Some of y'all say, oh, I can't go take him to the doctor today because I got to work. Okay, she got to work too. She got to go to school too. And even if she doesn't, stepping all the way up to the plate is doing what you're supposed to do, whether or not your baby's mom is in a position to do it or not. That's what that means. So say she's off. Say she's off from work and say she's off from school and she just sitting home. Your obligation to child support is for you to still, as that responsible parent, the other half who made that child, step all the way up and still come get the child. Still go pick the child up from school. See, when you guys sit up here and say that you can do what the mother is doing, why aren't you doing it? See, you're proving right there that you're not capable of doing it because you can't even figure out how you can work it out with your job to where you can even take off to do certain things. Because the first things that you guys always say is you work. You can't take off of work. And that don't even make any sense because you got to take care of your children whether you're working or not. You guys act like just because you're working that you're supposed to be excluded from your responsibilities and taking care of your kids. And it don't work like that. No, because guess what that mother has to do? That mother still got to go to work. She still has to go to school and she still has to take care of those kids. Nobody's coming to get those kids while she go to work and while she go to school. She's doing it. And you guys can't even do that. But yet you want to sit up here and drag her through the mud and label her all these old degrading and disrespectful names because she's asking you only to perform one of the levels that it takes to raise your children because you're not there mentally. Okay? You're not dealing with your daughter because she's going through puberty. You're not dealing with your daughter because she has a boy in school that she likes and he has told her she's not attractive and now she's mentally and emotionally insecure. You're not dealing with that. You're not dealing with your son who's also going through puberty and don't understand why he has these urges for these young girls, and you know, he's finding out that maybe he has a sexual identity problem going on. You're not there. You're not dealing with all these issues. That mother is. You're not getting up in the middle of the night, taking care of those kids when they're sick, throwing up, got viruses, diarrhea, and all of that. You're not going through that. You're not up at the school every time your child comes home complaining about how somebody in school is bullying them. There's a lot of levels to child support. And you deadbeats are only focused on one. When you start interacting with your child on a daily basis and putting in the same amount of time and work and, you know, your physical presence in that child's life is when I will have respect for you. But I have no respect for a man that sits up here and complains about what he's contributing in the financial part of child support, because you're still a little boy. You're not a man. Because men know that finances is easy. That's the easy part. A real man is challenging the other 4 levels of child support. A real man is taking his son to the doctor. A real man is being there when the baby's mom call and say, I need you to get your son, or I need you to get your daughter. He's going to make arrangements to fit his child into his schedule. He's not going to wait to see if he can fix his schedule, you know, make the mother wait for him to get a day off or something like that. No, he's going to do what he got to do. He's going to make preparations. So, again, that's one issue I wanted to talk about. Now, as far as child support, finances will always be a requirement no matter what. So even if you are involved in your kid's life, don't think that you get a pass. I see a lot of guys say, well, I visit my kids. I'm visiting with my kids. I talk to my kids every day. So what? What does that got to do with your financial obligation? Your financial is a part of the obligation of child support. You guys are always looking for a way out. You're always bargaining with the well-being of your kids. And that's sad. It's very sad. I mean, and you should be ashamed of yourself that you're even bargaining with the baby's mom as far as, you know, what she needs to take care of your child. And then, you know what? This is another thing. This is why I say I don't like touching on stuff like this, because while you guys are sitting there saying the mom don't deserve this, don't deserve that, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Why don't you pay half of everything that is required of your child? I guarantee you, if the judge say, I don't care if you working or not, you know what? I don't even care what you got going on in your life. You're going to pay this. You're going to pay half of what your child needs. Meaning, nobody's going to put the money. And see, you guys still don't know how easy you got it. What if the system, think about this. What if the system was set up to where it said, okay, and this goes for both parents. What if the system said, okay, mom, okay, dad, this is the agency. Both of you are going to be required to drop half of what it is required to pay for your child into this bank account on this day every month. Every month that you late, you getting locked up for 30 days. And when you get out of jail, you still better make sure that next payment comes in, or you going right back to jail. What if that happened? Now, keep in mind, think about the baby mama that you dealing with. She worked. I guarantee you the baby's mom, whether she working or not, she going to make sure her half is in the bank. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? See, now there is no issue of you putting money in her hands now. It's going straight into this bank account. What is going to be your excuse then? You're not going to have an excuse. You're going to make sure that that money is there. Okay? So now just think for a moment. If you're going to do it because of that, why won't you just tell yourself you need to be doing it anyways? Why can't you do that anyways? But if you guys really don't want to be, you know, this is the thing. There is really no way of getting out of child support. Honestly, there isn't. Because I know I got a friend right now who she takes care of her kids. And she pays her half. Like if she tells her baby's father, my daughter needs braces, and the braces cost $2,000. Okay, this is something your daughter needs now. The dentist has clearly told you and the mother that the child needs braces. The braces cost $2,000, and you're going to be obligated to pay half. Are you going to pay half of that? Now, mind you, the child support that you're paying now doesn't even come close to hitting on the deposit that is required before the dentist even accepts the child. See, you got to put down a deposit. Here you're paying $50 a week and $150 a week. You can't afford no braces. You're not even proving that you can pay more because you're not paying more. See, a good father, once a judge rules on child support that low, a good father gonna say, that's not enough. No, I gotta get more than that. See, that's a man with character. A man that sits here and says, I'm obligated to pay just $50 a week in child support or $300 a month in child support. And that's for like 2-3 kids. A good man and a responsible father that really loves his kids gonna say that's unacceptable. I can pay more than that. My kids are worth more than that. He's not gonna be settled and happy with that. That's going to bother him, knowing that that child is over there living with that mom, and that mom is carrying all that load of his kids while he's over here with just one obligation to child support, which is finances, and it don't even equal $300 or $500 a month. See, a real man ain't gonna go for that. He ain't gonna go for that. You got men paying $700 for one child and proud to pay it. And here you paying $300 for 2-3 kids and you complaining. Do you understand now what a deadbeat is? I just broke it down to you. You're a deadbeat. That's a deadbeat. You're complaining about paying $200 or $300 for 2 to 3 kids. That's $100 a month. Do you really believe that $100 is all that is required to take care of your kids with all the other expenses that is required for your kids to go to school, eat, participate in activities, academics, and all that stuff? Are you kidding me? And you deadbeats are complaining. Stop bargaining with your kids. Pay your child support. Okay? You brought those kids into this world. You was happy and proud and turned up and excited when you was making them. You need to be just as excited, happy, turned up to take care of them. And stop worrying about what you think the mother is doing with the money. What do you mean what she's doing with the money? She's paying bills. She's taking care of your child. You can't put child support in your kid's hands and expect the child to go pay bills. That child lives in that house. The child needs the lights. Because I guarantee you, any woman that don't have kids have gone with their lights or water turned off for a few months because they can do that. They can do that. If it was just me and I needed, I wanted something and I know that I'm the only one in that house, oh, you best believe them lights would get cut off. It wouldn't bother me. I can live in the dark. People did it way before the light was even invented. People were living in the dark. Before they even figured out how to pump wells and do all of that, people went without water. But the fact that the child is in the house is why it is necessary for you to contribute to that household. Because the child is there. There are men out there who can see that. Real men. I got a friend right now. He's a good dad. I mean, don't question what the mom does with the money. His only thing is, look, all I know is my son is over there. That's all he says. My son is there. My son is riding in that car. I got to make sure that car gets to where it's going. I got to make sure that car doesn't break down because that car is transporting my son. That house is putting a roof over my son's head. I got to make sure those bills are paid over there. See, that's a real man right there. But all you other guys out there complaining about the obligations that the courts have forced you to pay, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Matter of fact, you don't need to step to not nail another woman until you get your mind right. Stay out of women's faces. Stop trying to get a woman to believe anything about you because you nothing. You're nothing. You complaining about taking care of your kids, but got the audacity to tell a woman you'll take care of her. You're not even taking care of your kids. You're complaining about taking care of your kids. A woman has to be a fool to believe that you're going to take care of her when she's heard you complain about taking care of your own kids. I don't deal with you type of guys. As soon as I hear a guy complaining about any portion of his child support obligation, I'm turned off immediately. You might as well stop talking and get out my face, because you done lost me. You complaining about taking care of your own children, a life that you brought into this world, and you think that I'm going to believe that you're going to take care of me when my obligation as a grown woman is going to be more than what? $50 a week? Boy, you can't afford us. You can't afford it. You can't even pay $50 a week to your own child. But anyways, like I was saying, stop bargaining with your baby's mom. Stop talking about your baby's mom. Oh, and last but not least, I have to say this. The government, okay, when it comes down to welfare, I hear a lot of you guys always talking about, oh, she getting government assistance, she's on welfare. You're an idiot, okay? You're a straight idiot, because welfare, she wouldn't even have to go and apply for welfare if you was paying your part in your child support, if you was meeting her halfway. And I keep stressing this over and over and over again, and I'm sounding like a broken record, and I'm actually getting tired of having to say this. I don't even have the breath to say it. I'm really getting exhausted with saying this. But child support or government assistance, food stamps, Medicaid, housing, Section 8 and all of that stuff, she only qualifies for that because the system is based off of numbers, okay? The government does everything on a number system, a percentage system. They do calculations like statistics. They know how much it costs to raise a child. They know already what the expenses are required, okay? They already know this. That's why they have the census every year. The people come around counting how many people in your houses, the census and all of that. Okay, so they already know this. So when a mother goes down and apply for any type of government assistance, they ask her how many kids are in the house. So they're going to give her a portion of what they feel is required to help her take care of the kids, because she has to provide financial statements. Even if she's not working, they're going to step up and pay half of her obligation, and they're going to pay half of yours. Now, when she's working, then they're only going to pay your half. So if she's getting, say, $500 and something a month in food stamps for 2 kids, just know that the government is not paying the total amount of expenses and groceries. That's not what it is. That number is actually higher. So that 500 is based off of a percentage of what is really required of the food expenses in the house. So if whatever the government is paying, you best believe that amount is really higher. Everything is on a scale. And if you guys had common sense and did your research, you shut up about it, and you'd understand that you're not even paying half of what is required of you. They're helping you. Now, one way to get how about this? How about make it to where your baby's mom don't qualify for system? Because, see, government, you got to qualify. If your income is below a certain bracket, you qualify. How about make it to where she don't qualify and take care of your kids? If you can go to the courts and prove to the government that this lady, your baby's mom, does not qualify for government assistance, guess what? They're not going to give it to her because she don't qualify. It's a lot of single mothers, single fathers being denied for government assistance, food stamps, Medicaid, housing every day because guess what? They make too much money. They don't fall under that financial bracket. They don't fall up under it. So if you committed to your financial obligation, she wouldn't qualify because then you'd be meeting her halfway. So I don't understand what the problem is. Oh, but anyways, I gotta end this. I'm gonna come back with part 2 because I don't like going 30 minutes. And you see my light just went out in my car. So that lets you guys know I've been talking way too long. Way too long. All right, I'll come back with part 2 in a bit. Miss Ross. MSROSS.com, Miss Ross Radio. You guys subscribe, follow me.